Building before validation. Let's talk about that. Building before validation. There's no validation. You're in the dark. The oak tree has been planted, and then you don't even see a little shoot popping up. But you're building before validation. That part right there is what we're talking about. This is where many people quit because there's no one to applaud you. Remember, no applause is happening. You're building in private, and that's hard. I often tell people it only took me 18 years to become an overnight success. Because people say, wow, Miss Gibson, you're doing this. Miss Gibson, I see you here. Miss Gibson, wow. It's like all of a sudden. And all I keep saying, it was 18 years of it being all of a sudden. All of a sudden. So there are no applause, no recognition, no visible proof, just consistency. And let's face it, consistency isn't even a sexy word, but it's what produces the ultimate outcome. I remember John Maxwell saying one time, Michelle, never underestimate the compounding effect of consistency. And that is what kept me grounded for 18 years. Visibility is usually the reward of sustained invisibility. When they finally see you and they be like, wow, that is the reward of sustained invisibility. Galatians 6:9 said, let us not grow weary in well-doing, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest. If we do not give up, we will reap. That there is no mistaking that there's seed time, there's seed. You plant the seed, you plant the seed, you plant the seed. And there's time. And just when you think it's time, there's time again. And out of nowhere, the harvest is here. You reap it. There are things I am seeing now in business and in leadership that took years of unseen discipline. In one of my business, my custom brokerage and trucking business, that's the business that's been around the longest, and that's the business that I do not have to advertise for. That's the business that 90% of the business is by referral, because we have stood the test of time. And people can trust us, and they do trust us, which is why they refer their family and friends to us. People celebrate the outcome, but they do not see the private endurance. People celebrate the outcome, but they did not see the private endurance. Always remember that. But here's where we meet, where we come to this moment where we talk about the internal question. So now that the conversation becomes personal, where are you waiting for conditions to feel perfect before you move? Where have you confused? Where have you confused delay with preparation? Where are you underestimating your capacity because you are focused on what you lack? Where are you? The people who transform industries are not always the most prepared. They are often the most willing. That's all. I'm just willing to do it afraid. I'm just willing to do the hard thing no matter how much it is. I'm just willing to miss out on 8 hours sleep. That's it. I remember, I think it's Einstein that said this quote, I'm not smarter than anyone. I just stay with the problem longer than anyone. That's it. He was just willing. Are you one of the willing? Creativity under constraint reveals who you really are. It reveals whether you remain imaginative under pressure. It reveals whether you can stay disciplined without applause. It reveals whether you can trust God before evidence appears. Because leadership is not tested when everything is easy. Leadership is revealed when conditions are uncomfortable. Let's say that again. Leadership is not tested when everything is easy. Leadership is revealed when conditions are uncomfortable. And maybe, just maybe, the reason God allowed some seasons to feel limited was because He needed to show you that your capacity was never dependent on perfect conditions in the first place. He needed to show you that. Your capacity, your ability, your endurance, your discipline, the power of who you are was never dependent on perfect conditions in the first place. So here's our final challenge to you. So this week, I want you to stop asking, what do I still need? And instead ask, what can I build? What can I build with what God has already placed in my hand? Stop asking, what do I still need? Ask, what can I build with what God has already placed in my hands?
A brand new episode of Imagine Greater with Michelle Bethel-Gibson drops next week.
Somewhere along the way, many people began to believe a lie. A lie that says, my best years are behind me. A lie that says that I have missed out on all of those amazing opportunities. And a lie that says it is too late to start again. But what if? What if your greatest impact isn't behind you, but it's ahead of you? Today's guest, we're excited, drum roll people, we are excited, has built a movement around helping people to do exactly that. Finish strong. Stop believing that your best years are behind you. They are, in fact, ahead of you. So let's welcome, everyone, Erica Strome.
Subscribe or follow to get notified.